guys, it's Amy from Tasty UK, and today I'm going to be trying the recipes of 3 celebrities to decide who makes the best avocado toast. In this morning's lineup, we have cosmetic queen Kylie Jenner, the real queen of America, Meghan Markle, and since we're talking royalty, the potty mouth prince himself, Gordon Ramsay. So who's going to take the crown? Let's find out. So we're going to kick off with Kylie Jenner's recipe. This one is relatively simple, and I am an avocado toast purist. So you just slice your 2 avocados in half. I'm just going to score across the flesh to make it easier to come out. So many people went to hospital with avocado hand injuries from removing the stone like that. So to safely remove the avocado stone, you place a tea towel in your hand, pop the avocado in there, and confidently, voila! Kylie wants to show us that she is a master of everything, and we've seen a lot of her cooking on her socials. She's done frosted flakes French toast, which I actually made, and her French toast was banging. I have high expectations for this, so I'm gonna scoop out the avocado flesh and give it a mash in this bowl. So you know your avo is ripe when you pick off the stem, and beneath that you see green. Avocado toast was a huge thing a few years ago. Every cafe in East London worth its salt has avo toast on the menu. So this is looking really nice and smooth now. So we're ready to plate. A great tip to stop your avocado from browning, if you're not quite ready to plate, just put a bit of cling wrap on the surface of the avocado. That way it cannot oxidize and go brown. So I'm gonna go ahead and spoon this avocado onto this lovely piece of toast. I'm gonna do a nice thick layer, a nice drizzle of agave, a sprinkle of chili, and to finish, a bit of salt. And that is it. Wow, so this looks glistening and gorgeous. Look at that ratio of avo to bread. That is perfect. I like it. It's very interesting to put something sweet on an avocado toast, which isn't typically something I would go for, but I think the salt and the chili is a really good addition. I don't think this is an everyday thing. If you're looking for a dessert avocado toast, this is the way to go. But like I said, I'm a purist. On a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the best, I'm giving Kylie Jenner's avocado toast a 2.5. I don't hate it. That's a wrap on Kylie's recipe. Let's see how Meghan measures up. I'm really excited about this one because I think adding a salty, cheesy, feta-like element is going to really elevate this dish. We're going to slice our avo in half. This recipe calls for 1 avocado to 2 slices of toast, so it's a little bit stingy, but maybe it's gonna be good. Again, with the avocado trick, hey! We're gonna score this avo just to make sure it's easier to get out of the skin. I heard that Meghan is a keen cook, and it's actually how she snagged a prince. The story goes that Prince Harry proposed to her the day that she had cooked a roast chicken. I have not myself tried or seen any of Meghan's recipes, but I can tell she's got a taste for spice. She's going around adding spice to the royal family's lives, that's for sure. So we're just gonna scoop these avos out. We're gonna mash this avo until it's nice and smooth. So I've half mashed this, and now I'm gonna add a tablespoon of feta and then give it a good mix. I'm using vegan feta, but you can really use any that you like. I have high expectations for this one. Salty, spicy, creamy, what's not to love? I don't think this looks the most visually appealing, but I think the flavor is gonna pack a punch. So now we're gonna add some lemon juice. Lemon juice makes everything better. I got it mostly in the bowl. So now I've added the lemon juice, this is ready to plate. So for Meghan's recipe, we're using multi-grain bread, and this is a bit of me. I love this kind of bread. Pop this avocado on this bread. The bread to guac ratio is not indulgent enough for me. It's gotta be 50-50. This is flat. We're adding a little bit more height and texture with extra crumbles of feta. Add some chili flakes, a bit of salt. You can't have avo toast that is unseasoned, and a few pepitas for crunch. And there we go, Meghan Markle's avocado toast. I'm trying to find an area where there's some chunkiness to this, and I know you guys are gonna be mad, but I'm gonna take a bite out of the middle like this. It's a taste sensation. You know, I was mad about the ratios, but it actually works, and I think that's because of the feta. You first get the creamy avocado layer, and then you get these sort of punches of salty cheese, which is just delicious. And then on top of all of that, you have the sprinkle of chili flakes, which just makes this perfect. I got that all in one bite. Well done, Meghan. I'm gonna give this avocado toast a 4 out of 5. I know, I'm just as surprised as you. This does really work. So well done. So now the one that I am the most excited about, it is Chef Ramsay's Avo Toast. This next one is the most chefy of them all. There are more steps in it. You actually have to do some cooking rather than just assembly. Let's see if it's worth it. I'm gonna add some oil to the pan and saute my chorizo. I'm using vegan chorizo, you can use any you like. I'm gonna cook this until the edges are nice and crisp, and then we'll move on to adding the onion. I think part of the appeal of avocado toast is how quick and simple it is to make. But you know what, I like the effort that he's gone to. He's put the Gordon Ramsay spin on it, and I'm into that. Ooh, so now the edges are looking nice and crispy. I'm gonna add the onion and give that a little saute. I haven't personally tried Gordon's vegan recipes. I feel like he said something mean about vegans, and since then, we've not been friends. So now the onion is nice and sauteed, we're gonna add the garlic. Just cook it until we can smell it, because there's nothing more unforgivable than burnt garlic. Unforgivable. That smells so good. I'm gonna make a gap in the pan to add my tomatoes. We have 1 cup, so I'm going to add them cut side down to the center of the pan to give them a nice sear. This is the most elaborate avocado toast I've ever seen. I could only make this recipe after my first cup of coffee. But look, it looks like some kind of child's art. It's like a preschool painting. The tomatoes are looking nice and sweaty. We're just gonna wait until they brown on the bottom, and then we'll deglaze the pan. Everyone loves Gordon Ramsay in England. Is that true? I mean, I can't speak for the whole of England, but Gordon Ramsay's a pretty liked guy. I love Gordon Ramsay's duets. Gordon, if you're watching, come at me with your duets on TikTok. Check out my lasagna pie. The tomatoes are looking nice and charred, so I'm gonna deglaze the pan with some vegetable stock. The recipe calls for chicken stock, but I'm using veggie today. It smells super fragrant, paprika-y, garlicky, meaty. Smells meaty. It's looking very sophisticated. We've grown up. We've leveled up. So this is nice and reduced, and it smells gorgeous and juicy. We're gonna add a splash of sherry vinegar, give it a good season with salt, and mix it up, a sprinkle of parsley. So this was quite a lot of work, but it's looking interesting. I'm curious to see how this is all gonna come together. So we've got new components, there's a lot going on here, so we're gonna take it step by step. Don't worry, I got you. First of all, top tip, we're gonna slice our piece of garlic and rub the garlic on a freshly toasted piece of bread, just to add oomph to the flavor. So we're using country bread for this recipe, a personal favorite of mine, as of today when I learned what it was. Okay, so now it's finally avocado time. So for this recipe, I'm gonna slice the avocado thinly and fan it out. If you wanna find out how to make an avocado rose, I have a tutorial on my Instagram, @AmyTasty, check it out. I'm just gonna rub a bit of olive oil over the top of the avo, just to make it nice and smooth and as good looking as it can be. And here we go with the slicing. So half an avocado per piece of bread, and just fan that out like so. We're gonna season it with a bit of salt and a squeeze of lemon. Next, the piece de resistance is the chorizo mixture. So I'm just gonna spoon this over each piece, giving it a nice, generous layer. I love the tomatoes all smushed up. Pleasantly surprised by the aesthetics of this. Dressing these leaves with a bit of olive oil, a touch of sherry vinegar, and just a sprinkle of salt. You know, I don't think I've ever actually eaten avo toast with lettuce, so this is quite uncommon. I think this is kind of getting far removed from the essence that is avocado toast. There's a lot going on here, but what's most important is how it tastes. So let's add these leaves on top, just for a bit of garnish, bit of extra flavor, bit of extra crunch. The final touches, we have a sprinkle of parsley. Finally, we have the manchego. I'm using vegan cheese, you can use whatever cheese you like. This seems like an unnecessary step. You've gone too far, Gordon, but we'll see. I mean, he is a culinary genius. So the ratios are wild here. This is different from the other recipes because rather than a guacamole, it's a sliced avocado, which I like, but then you've gone and covered up those gorgeous slices with all of these other elements. The topping to bread ratio, I'm a fan of because I like a lot going on the bread. This is like lifting weights. I'm gonna get some guns. So let's give it a go. Yes, Gordon, that is good. Each individual layer comes through. I would make this again, but I wouldn't call this avocado toast. This is Chorizo's album. Avocado's just featuring on it. I feel like the avocado kind of gets lost. I think maybe the manchego was supposed to give it a bit of a salty edge, but you really get that just from the chorizo. But this is a Sunday morning breakfast when you've got a bit more time to put a bit more energy and love into it. So it's gonna come as no surprise to anybody that the chef is gonna make the best avo toast. I'm gonna give this a 4.5 out of 5. So congrats, Gordon. You won! I'd suggest you make Gordon's recipe if you're feeling fancy and you've got a bit more time on a Sunday, but I'd go for Meghan's if I was just making an everyday avocado toast because it's got that little extra something special without too much effort. And if you're looking for something sweet, sure, try Kylie's. So that's it from me today. If you have any other celeb showdown ideas, let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye.